And we back. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Watch on My Reviews. This is your boy James. For today, I'm here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It's not gonna happen this video, but that's okay. I'm gonna live to fight another day. Joining me as always is my co-host, Mrs. Besh. I'll say what's up to her.
Good evening. Like, share, subscribe, do good things. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, so while you're subscribing to me, go ahead and subscribe to Mrs. Best. Any reviews or recaps I don't cover on my channel, that's because we cover on her channel. So far, we have Married at First Sight that we just covered. We also did the Real Housewives Wife Swap edition. That's also on Mrs. Best channel. We just finished that. That was a good series. We have Love and Hip Hop Miami, which is currently airing right now on BET Plus. That is on Mrs. Best channel. And then we're going to also pick up Surviving Mormonism, which is following Heather Gay from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. All of those shows are all on Mrs. Best channel. If you enjoy those shows, want to hear opinions of that, go ahead and subscribe to her channel and be sure to tell her James sent you. Hey, DM Rocks, we appreciate you being here with us. Thank you so much. Hey, Angel's a buzzkill and Monique Tyson Street Fighter Samuels is back next episode. Yeah, Angel is definitely a buzzkill. And honestly, I could have done without Monique. I really could have, but hey, she's coming back. I guess, to the show she said she would never come back to. She's back. So, hey, guess you have to take it where you can. So, the episode actually opens up with this big old cliffhanger between Jazzy and Kiana, where they are yelling at each other, saying that Jazzy is accusing Kiana of saying Wendy said that she talked about Wendy and she, told Wendy what she's gonna tell Wendy what she said. Kiana wants to know what did she say about Wendy. We need to iron it out. And first off, Jazzy doesn't want to say what it is, but in her confessional, she said if Wendy finds out, they ask her on a scale of 1 to 10, how mad would Wendy be? She says 8.5. Jazzy, I need you to say what it was, honey. I need you to say what it is. Because honestly, at this point, if you don't say what it is, then I'm going to believe it was nothing. Point blank in the fuck period. I need you to say what exactly Kiana said about Wendy so that way we can give a fuck at this point to make sure that we understand that if it was something crazy, we need to hold Kiana accountable. But if it wasn't, then we need to just let it the fuck go. Mrs. Best, do you feel the same way or am I tripping?
I want to know why somebody who was so upset at YouTubers and blogs for talking about some shit that she told us finds a way to come on camera and publicly repeat things that have been said to her off camera. Jazzy is 11th grade drama. 10 to 11th grade drama. She's messy. And
Absolutely.
I, for any of the women up there, anytime that Jazzy questioned me or had a concern or a thought or felt the need to share a conversation, I would question her about where her man is at and who he's really with and watch her just freak out.
DM Rock's comment says, have you seen the after show for Potomac? Because Jazzy T and Giselle trio is amazing and fun trio together. I have not seen the after show. I do know that the three of them were paired together, which I thought was a very odd pairing, considering, especially this last episode with Jazzy and Tia going at it, which we'll get into in just a minute because we're going to read her for filth there as well. But I thought that was interesting. So I'll watch it and I'll see how I feel about it. But moving on, Giselle, they said, why don't we sleep on that? Because they asked if we can get, the ladies asked if they can get past this. And they said, why don't you just sleep on it and we'll just come back. But furthermore, Giselle says that Wendy told her that Kiana said that she didn't like Giselle. And this comes after Mr. Sunshine brings them some shots because Giselle had to be shady and give everyone an individual shot. I'm not going to go over the names because they were stupid, especially Duchess Darby. I don't really care about that. But Kay's shot was interesting because it's called Giselle Hater. And Kiana said, well, Wendy's not here. So we're not going to speak on something. If, Wendy, I need her to be here present. Tell me what I said, and then we can move on from there. And Giselle said, okay, well, that's fair. We can do that. So the ladies take their shots of everything, and then that was pretty much the scene. It was very slow. We could have kept this, on the cutting room floor, but that's okay. Hi, Kevin Reynolds. Thank you for being here. We appreciate that. So, as the ladies go back to the villa, we have this, you know, cut off camera because production wasn't there, but they had the little above camera just in case they missed some shit. And we see it looked like that was Jazzy sitting next to Stacy. So it was Stacy, Ashley. I knew it was Ashley. I see that forehead from that ceiling. And then I think that was Jazzy that was sitting next to Stacy. I think. And basically in this scene, T, not Tia, Stacy was confirming that, when her and her husband were separated, they were all seeing different other people. And Chris Samuels was someone she was seeing. She said he's cool, and that was it. And I actually wanted to say that Stacy lied, and I don't know why they showed this. Because to me, I don't care if she dated Chris Samuels. Y'all. I really do not care. Like, she back with her husband in today's time. So what the fuck does that matter if she dated Chris Samuels or not? Mrs. Best, once again, because I know I've asked you this on the previous slide. Do you care that Stacey is now confirmed that she did date Chris Samuels, or do you think this is
Monique and Chris Samuels are not together. Monique and Stacey are not friends. Stacey does not owe Monique anything and can date who the fuck she wants. Chris Samuels is single. Stacey was single. Nothing was illegal. Nothing was wrong. What is the problem? Bravo thinking that Stacey, who never filmed with Monique, who we don't know and they can't prove it to us, knows Monique or knew Monique when she was married to him. We do not care. We don't care. You wanted to have a moment, Bravo, you should have brought back Monique and kept Candace and got rid of the guzzleneck.
I'm just saying, because at this point, this is stupid. Y'all are really reaching with this. Everybody is really, truly reaching with this storyline. I don't care. So we're going to move on. So the next scene then is the next day. Wendy, I guess, at this point, seen a doctor or had a medical expert look at it, and they diagnosed her with having some sort of sinus infection. And at the same time, Stacy goes and checks on her, and as she's explaining it, but Stacy's top part of her lip is swollen. And Wendy notices this. She goes, "What's wrong with your lip?" And she said, "Oh my God, can you tell something is swollen?" And she goes, "Yeah, I could tell. What happened?" And Stacy says she has allergic reaction. And Wendy was laughing. I was like, it reminded me of when Kris Jenner on Keeping Up with the Kardashians had a similar situation where she had an allergic reaction to something she had, and her whole top lip was swollen. I said, that is so funny. So the ladies then come out because they're going to go on a yacht. Hi, Naya. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I know it's late in the evening where you are, but thank you so much for being here. So the ladies go out, and Ashley says, see what happened with Stacey's lips. Stacey keep lying. So that's why that lip kid is like Pinocchio. And I'm like, Ashley, I don't know who's worse between you or Giselle and why y'all have such a hard on for Stacey. Like, it is so irritating for me to sit here and watch y'all, both of y'all miserable ass ladies, pick on this lady like this. It is.
You almost want Stacey to just say that she slept with him, even though we know she didn't, just so that they can shut up. Like, yep, now I've admitted it. Now what? Now what? Gonna run to Monique? She police her ex who single sleeps with. Like, Ashley is doing everything she can to not show us her life.
She don't want to show us her life. That's the problem. She don't want us to see her show us really on. Giselle did a good job with this cash trip. She did do a good job. I will give her that. I don't give Giselle much on my channel, but I definitely will give her that. They don't have a storyline, and that's what's the problem. That's what I have a problem with. And they keep poking at Stacey. And see, this is where I wish Stacey had a gutter ass friend that was about it, that would get their asses together. Even though Stacey does a good job on her own, she'll get them together. But I needed Stacey to have a good girlfriend from Detroit that's willing to take a flight and get their asses together. I'm telling you, I wish that was the situation. I needed something like that. Because I know the little friend she got, he can't do it because he's a guy. I don't want to see that. But she had a girlfriend, like one of them gutter hood boogers like Cookie and them. Yes, get her on the show so I could see that. I wish she would hide her lace front like she hide them. That was a good one, Naya. But so the ladies get on, the yacht, And, as they're going, Giselle said, okay, so this is the perfect time for us to talk. And I want to get this whole Kay and Wendy thing out together. So Giselle sits them all down and says, Kay, what was the issue? Because Wendy told me out her mouth that you had a problem with me and that you didn't like me. And Kay said, no, it's not that I didn't like you. It was the simple fact that when it came to me being at your event and I had to fight, she had to fight Sesame Street, you weren't there for me. You didn't check on me. You didn't do anything. And Giselle was in her feelings, which, as I lost my parent as well, I kind of understand this as well. Giselle said, at the time you had that fight and had that shit going on, I was dealing with my father. I literally left my event to go be with my father, who had to have surgery and then later died from that surgery. So I'm sorry that I didn't go check on you. You had to go see a plastic surgeon. My dad was actually dying. And I said, oh, damn, Giselle, you didn't have to read her like that, but I will give Giselle, I will actually be on Giselle's side with this. I thought if that's really how Kay felt that Wendy conveyed to Giselle, I do think that was fucked up. I was fucked up of Wendy to say that because that's supposed to be your friend. But at the end of the day, it is fucked up for her to have that kind of feeling when at the end of the day, Giselle wasn't there. That's one thing. And then two, she was dealing with a parent who then unfortunately had passed away shortly thereafter. So you can't expect her to check on you when everybody need to be checking on her right now. I thought that was really messed up. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about, this whole explanation of Kiana saying that she didn't like Giselle, but that really wasn't what it was. It was the fact that she didn't check on her after she got into that fight.
Kiana knows that Giselle's father was dying at that time. It came up at the reunion. Kiana said at the beginning of it that her and Giselle had already squashed it and discussed it at the reunion. So if you felt like that you shouldn't have engaged in the conversation at all. She should have stood 10 toes down and not said nothing about it. Giselle had a point. Like, you can't hold her accountable because of that. But I think part of the reason Kiana's lawsuit was dropped with the Sesame Street character is because she needed to be suing Giselle and Ashley. That was their event or production for putting her in harm's way at their event. Technically, they would be the ones responsible. I also feel like Giselle had more loyalty to Ashley than she did to Kiana at that time, and that was very clear. So you can't expect her to have called you. You also knew that she left early because of her father. You choose to ignore that. And it's not even about the plastic surgery. My thing is, Kiana liked to act like she bad about it, but she got hit after trying to take off on somebody else and threw a fit, cried, and ran to a plastic surgeon and is now acting upset. I don't think that just because the dad passed away should be a pass, but in this situation, her dad at the time was in the hospital, and that trumps any bullshit that's going on with your friends. If my dad ends up in the hospital right now, the last thing I'm thinking of, I would leave this live with no text, no nothing. Like, the last thing I would be concerned about is anything else. So it's kind of a lose-lose to Kiana, especially how she handled it. She was like passive aggressive towards Giselle with the response and responded. Like, I didn't like it. I don't see it for Kiana after this. I think she's went from one of the housewives that people had the most hopes and high hopes for to the most disliked one. And this cast has always kind of sucked from the beginning. They've never gotten the Potomac cast right. But Kiana, that's a low. I haven't lost a parent, but come on, you knew what was going on. If you just don't comment, especially if you thought y'all made peace. But it sounds like Kiana, Angel, and Jazzy are having a lot of conversations off camera that keep coming back to the camera. So maybe they all need to learn how to shut the fuck up. That's just my observation.
Like Wendy said, Kiana's a high maintenance friend, and it does show that. She does give me that. But I think the hope that everyone had was the same hope we had in Shamia when Shamia became a full-time housewife after being a friend of the show all them years. And Shamia disappointed us by being a Portia's ass. Kiana has that same effect where I'm so disappointed in her because I did not realize she was this stank. I did not realize this. So it was... Ugh. So annoying. But yeah, Tia diffused the situation because she also had a father that she had buried some years ago. And she said that, you can't expect her to check on you and to be this way, especially if you can't relate to her. That's a hard thing to do. So I appreciated Tia, and it kind of got Kay to, say, look, I apologize for putting you in that position. And the emotions got heightened. And, Giselle said, I always will love you. I always have love for you. I always will champion you. So they end up making up, and it was good. I really thought Giselle was going to hold on to this show. I didn't think Giselle was going to let that go that quickly. Sorry, on the main street that I live on, they love to race around here. It's so crazy. But no, but in heightened, I appreciate Giselle letting that go. That I really thought she was like Robin was still on the show. Giselle would never let that go. I'm just gonna say that. Just saying. Naya's like me. I stay with algae pills on vacation. Yep, because my allergies are the worst. That's one thing me and Mrs. Best have in common. There's something about these allergies, it'd be crazy. They have no storyline. We got through this. It's a DM Rock says in a future episode, Stacey kicks Tia out of her event. Ooh, that's gonna be tough because I like them both. I wonder what happened. Correction, Bravo did a good job. Yeah. Help me to understand why Kay is speaking on 2 prior seasons ago. Talk about Lane because she really had to let that shit go. We saw that last season. When you really think about why she was crying last season at that table when Mia talked about her, she never let that shit go. And Naya's comment right here, Kay mad at everyone except who deserves it. Yeah, pretty much. Because I really think she mad at that man too, but she just ain't gonna let people see it. Tia was a good mediator. As she got her head cracked, Giselle was preoccupied with her dad. Wendy ain't even did nothing, but is getting dragged every episode. Kay is very confused. I think she knows what she's doing. I think she knows what she's doing. It just ain't working. It's just not. I don't think it ever would have worked in the first place. No matter how she was trying to angle this, trying to prove that Wendy is this self-centered bad friend. We understand Wendy got flaws and got fucked up ways. We all understand this. But if you're not giving us an example that is filmed on this show, we can't champion you to validate it. We don't
champion no bitch and trust no bitch that'll even joke about chin checking their friend with the next bitch that they barely know, that wasn't on their side, that put you in a situation that had to send you to a plastic surgery. Kay is not to be trusted. Whether her and Angel were the closest or not the closest, you brought somebody on this show and then went and talked about them. Now suddenly you want to act like you Captain Save a Hoe and care for your friend. Kay is not to be trusted. I think this is how she moves in her actual life. I think she's messy.
Yeah.
Who gives that? Especially how her mama looked like she was itching to jump into it a couple episodes ago. I think that's probably where she get it from. But Kay is messy.
100% agree. So the ladies at this point are jumping in the water. Jazzy has to show how flexible she is. She doing flips and shit. And so after the ladies then, get in the water, Giselle said she had made dinner reservations at another resort and they have to get ready from the boat. So all the ladies get ready. I will say the scenery of this resort was absolutely stunning. I love the background. I love looking at the water. It was just so beautiful. So I have to give it to them. They really went all out for this trip. Usually Potomac don't get no trips like this. So this was actually very beautiful to see. So the ladies are sitting around at a table. Giselle once again has it all assigned. And I don't know what Tia did at this point to get this conversation started, but Jazzy got activated, and it was annoying as hell. Because I guess Tia teased her in the van, talking about Mr. Sunshine said that, Jazzy was his favorite. And she said, oh, Darius has some competition. Why she say that? Jazzy picked up that fork and says, how dare you say that about me? And said that my man got competition 14 days from my wedding. How dare you, Tia? And I said, wait, what the hell? Now, this is the one time I'm going to agree with Kay. Jazzy, you getting mad that she compared a man who got 2 teeth and 2 dreads. What is you getting mad about? And then they actually had a side by side, and I said, well, they look alike. That's why she mad, because they look alike. Because it is true. Like y'all look at Darius and look at Mr. Sunshine, that look like father and son to me. So it was actually kind of spot on. But Tia said it in a joking way, and I guess because Jazzy didn't understand her humor, Jazzy had to get violent and had to, point that fork at her as if she was about to stab her with it. And Tia tells her, look, it was not meant in any harm. It was just fun shade. You have to understand my humor. And they don't know each other, so it is fair. But I thought what Jazzy did was so unnecessary and so crazy and so stupid. You that touchy when it comes, and I forgot, y'all. I did forget for a second when I was watching this episode. She got mad at all those YouTubers for this shit. So I imagine Stacey would be not Stacey, Tia would be no different. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about Jazzy getting bucked with that fork and pointing it at Tia?
Jazzy is one of the most insecure women that I've seen on television in a little while. I would put her up there with Amara La Negra and Rashida Frost. Insecure, pathetic. Number one, this is why you don't go digging. You get with a nigga that you actually attracted to, because then every time somebody reminds you that your man is unattractive and looks like some sort of creature, every time that happens, she get upset. And then he looked like that and he's still cheating on you, which is why you got to remind everybody how flexible you are, but you're so flexible, but it's still not keeping him in the house. Jazzy. Do not come for Tia because you are insecure about your own relationship. How are you excited to get married, but so easily triggered by a joke? I don't understand that. Women that are that insecure, clingy, or possessive over their men are the ones usually going through the most with them same men. So I just feel like Jazzy came for Tia out of nowhere. I think she expected Tia to lose it on her, but she didn't. Something about Jazzy and Kiarna and Angel on the show gives Love and Hip Hop or OWN TV, not Housewives. That's what I'll say.
I don't know what it gives, but I'm sick of her coming on this show, getting mad at every little comment or every little joke or dig that we have just because you take this shit personal. Man, you were confusing when you first came on this show. Now you want to be violent and irate at little comments or twigs against that man when he unjocking you all over the place. Don't nobody got time for this, Jazzy. Like, we really don't. Like, and please don't come for us YouTubers when we call your ass. Because I haven't watched everybody yet, y'all. But I know everybody went in on Jazzy after this. So please don't come for us YouTubers.
That man is not cute. And I feel like she knows it. At any time it's brought up, she gets like triggered or something. Jazzy should not be getting married, in my opinion. If the love was there, this whole situation with Tia wouldn't have happened. And I don't think you're spending that much time with your man if you always having all these private conversations that you keep repeating to everybody else. You got a lot of time, boo.
I agree. Real extra for no reason. Like, and Tia did handle the situation well. She was better than me. She was way better than I ever could have been. Because when I tell you I'd have read Jazzy for Filth right then and there, it would have been crazy on that boat. I promise you. It's okay, Shana. We glad you made it either way. But we then move on because Giselle said, well, the night's not over. We have to celebrate, Jazzy. And they decided to give her a bachelorette party. So the ladies are getting ready. But before we get back to the villa, Stacy and Wendy were riding back with Jazzy and Angel. And I guess because once again, this was another off-camera moment where there were cameras there, but they were like the little dash cams where we can kind of see what was going on. And all we heard was that snaggletooth heifer, and you see this, she over there, you see what she doing, and she accused me of this and this and that. And Stacey is ear hustling and trying to get the 411. We don't know what's going on. And all of us were left to assume that she's probably talking about some side chick or something because we don't know what this conversation is. So as the ladies get back to the villa, Wendy and Stacey are talking like, did you hear what Angel was talking about? And she goes, I heard like briefly. She said something about somebody was snaggletooth or whatever. And so we're gonna put a pin in this because now we have to discuss this. But this is also gonna be a conflicting moment because this is where I have to be on Chastity's side with this, and I don't want to be, but this is where I am going to be on her side with this. So everyone is changing into their outfits because they have Giselle told the ladies that they have to dress up in some form of slutation. And I think Stacey looked like Oktoberfest. It was not sexy. It was cute. I loved it when she was talking a little German. Stacey looked like the lady off the tortilla chip bag. And I'm not trying to be funny, but that's what she literally looks like. She looked like y'all ever see it's a white bag and it has a picture of a lady on there with that same top on. That's what Stacey looked like to me. I didn't like it at all. I thought Stacey did a horrible job. Stacey never gets it right. But she's so quirky and so gullible, so goofy that we tend to overlook it. But Stacey looked like the tortilla chip lady, like literally looked like that. So the ladies all get there. And Jazzy is, the bride. So she wore like this two-piece Esquire bride look, and it was very tacky. I was like, okay, this is not going up because who wants to watch a bunch of 40 and 50-year-old women do this? Like, this is, yeah. So everyone has to turn. We're going up there, and she was a beer. Oh, is that what it was? Okay, I didn't know what it was. It was weird. Not talking about Jazz, I'm talking about Stacey. But so everyone's going taking their turn, and Ashley had to be the most disgusting one of all. She had some edible lip thing, and she had drew it on Jazzy, and then licked it off of her, and it seductively licked up into her chin. And I said, Ashley, y'all, let me know in the chat. Would y'all constitute that as cheating? Because that was too much. And Jazzy, you can tell she got a little turned on by that and got a little moist because she was like, like it was like, ugh, Lord Jesus. I was Mrs. Best. Was that going too far for you? Because I was like,
I don't want nobody's mouth on me outside of my husband. I don't know. Ashley's very sexual. I have some friends that are sexual and stuff, but don't be licking on me and shit. Keep your tongue where it needs to be. It will off of me.
That was just like, I was just like, oh God. Like that was just, it was way too much. I wasn't turned on by that. I was like, ugh. Like, why would you want Ashley of all people? Ashley's not cute to me at all. So I would just, no, that's just not for me. So Angel's turn comes up, and Angel grabs the pink handcuffs and then says, this is for you because you have a big mouth. And we were like, wait, what? What's going on? And so Angel doesn't tell the ladies why she said that, but then, she punishes her, gives her punishment. And they were like, okay, like, what's going on? So Angel left the handcuffs on Jazzy. And they said, well, you got to take the handcuffs. Jazzy did some crazy, crazy fuck shit, put her arms over her head and strangled the handcuffs and turned them to the other side so she can get free. And I said, oh, wow. I said, oh, okay. It was Giselle talking about, ooh, and scooted like she saw an exorcism or something. It was funny as hell. I'm sorry, y'all. I laughed and rewind that scene so much. One, I need to learn how to do that. Just in case I get handcuffed, I'm gonna scare the shit out of somebody. And then two, it was like Jazzy just like, you can tell Jazzy does some freaky shit. You can tell she's into freaky shit and can do a whole lot. And everybody was like taking it back. And T was like, how did she do that? Like, no wonder Darius liked her so much. She is flexible. Y'all, I'm sorry. I was laughing so hard. Mrs. Best, were you laughing as hard as I was watching that scene?
No. Like, I'm not amused by stuff like that from this cast or on TV at all. I'm also extremely flexible though, so that could also be that. So But I don't know. I just
See, I'm not flexible. That's crazy. I wish I was that flexible. Shit, I need to get my ass into.
this like scenes like this. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bored. Like it could be a chuckle sometimes, but I don't know. The Potomac lately's been boring me a lot.
Is this something you can learn? I'm about to Google that right now. I'm gonna save it on my phone because when I'm done with this live, I'm gonna look into it. 'Cause, that's actually could be fun. It's called a contortus. Is that how you pronounce that? I don't even know how to pronounce that shit.
Contortionist.
Contortionist. Oh, okay. Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah, I have to look into that because I can't. I'm not flexible at all, y'all. And I'm getting over knee surgery. I want to live a completely different life after this. So yeah. But so as the ladies are, Giselle nosy. Hold on, y'all. Got to sneeze 1 second. Give me one. Thank you. So Giselle nosy. So she said, Angel, are you saying that Jazzy has a big mouth, or did she reveal something? And so Angel confessed to the ladies, no, Jazzy, got some information. Basically, what happened is that I was accused of stealing $35,000 from Bobby and that I was intentionally trying to get pregnant by him when we were first dating. And all the ladies were like, oh, okay, so Jazzy pulled you to the side and told you this? And she said, yes, she pulled me to the side and told me this information. And so the lady's like, well, she didn't bring it up in front of us, so what are you mad at? And so Angel was just taken aback that the ladies were asking her that she just gets out the room and she goes, okay, well, I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to leave because I have to go. And she's crying and all this, and she walks out the room. And so she calls Bobby, and, you know, Kay goes out. She goes, hey, are you okay? She goes, yeah, I'm fine. Just go back up in there. It's okay. I'm going to go back to the room. It's fine. Don't worry about me. And she's visibly very upset. So Giselle also comes out, and Kay's like, look, she's talking to her husband. Just let it be. Just let it be. And at this point, I'm just like, lady, you are so content on being miserable that if it wasn't true, what the fuck are you crying for? I would have laughed that off, especially because this is something that she revealed to the ladies that happened in 2019. So this is some old shit at this point.
2016.
Oh, 2016. So
yeah,
even worse. This is some old shit at this point. Why are you crying? Because like Ashley said, well, you have 2 kids, you married him. So obviously he didn't give a fuck if you did take the money. So why are you y'all, I can't with Angel. Like, Mrs. Best, how did you feel about that? Because I can't be the only one that was like,
it's probably true, and that's why she's so bothered because it came out. Because if it wasn't true, who cared? We done seen housewives across every franchise from every background come on this show new, whether they're as a new franchise or just the other stuff like husbands cheating, wives being shady. Like this is what you expect when you come on Housewives New. So the fact that this girl is freaking out and in tears and feeling the need to call her husband lets me know that she has a concern on how he'll feel about it, which means part of it could be true. Because something give me that Angel wasn't just landing ball players. Something's given is the first one. And I'm tired of this excuse. If she's so fucking hormonal, then she needs to take her time coming on television and stuff like that. But I don't know. Angel had success on her own before, but the only reason you would freak out like that if part of it is true. And like the women said, and I feel like that's what pissed her off because they didn't say, we know this isn't true. They said, who cares? You're married and got 2 kids, right? That's what they said. But it seemed like Angel wanted the validation from them that they don't believe it. But why would you need that? You're on a cast with Ashley Darby. Even if you did get $35K and trap that man with a baby. Ashley literally trapped Michael with 2 of them when he wanted to leave. So ain't nobody gonna care. But I feel like it might be true to a certain extent.
I feel like it is too. Because why would you get that mad? And then the thing about it is Jazzy didn't even say anything. That's was the crazy. Jazzy could have been messy. This is where I'm a sticker for Jazzy. Jazzy could have been messy and told everybody, look, this is my friend. I trust her. This is what she told me Angel had did at one point before she married Bobby. And, this is her, y'all. This is like Jazzy really could have flipped this and made a whole mess of this whole situation. But the fact is, she didn't. She went to Angel because she said that the angel that her friend is talking about is not the angel she's experiencing. So she went to Angel and said, hey, look, I didn't want to prejudge you before coming in this situation, but this is what I was told about you. And I feel differently. I don't feel like what my friend is telling me is true. So, I just want to let you know, like, you real cool peoples. Like, that's what she did. So the fact that Angel now has spun this and is mad because that friend was the same friend that told his agent that she took that money and then tried to get pregnant by him intentionally. It's like, okay, Angel, I'm sorry. Like, I have to agree with Mrs. West. I think you did the shit too. Like, that's my honest opinion. Like, I think she did it too. Because why would you get that mad about it? Especially now that you're married to him in today's time. Like, why are you mad about that shit? Because it doesn't even matter. It's not like y'all can go back, and it's not like he could sue you for the money. So it's like, what the fuck? Yeah. It was too much, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't want to defend Jazzy, but Jazzy didn't do anything wrong too. Like, I know a lot of people are like, well, Jazzy shouldn't even have brought it up in the first place. Why not just keep it to yourself? It's like, well, at the same time, like, so what? Like, it doesn't, like, the situation doesn't matter. She's married to him. It's not like she was some jump off that never saw him again. Like, that's. So yeah, that shit was, yeah, Angel's an epic fail. Like, this was a flop.
Angel should not have come on television. No shade to her based on her overusing filters on television. I do think a piece of it could be the fact that it looks like she's coming on TV after giving birth. I mean, she's pumping and stuff like that. She could be experiencing postpartum depression and just tripping, which is common, but don't come on TV if you're not ready to do so. She had a career in the limelight on BET. I remember seeing her interview people on red carpets and things like that. So I would imagine that she probably just in general doesn't feel her best. I'm not going to entirely hate on Angel just because it seems like she's a little broken. It seems like she's highly insecure. It seems like she just had a baby and is not feeling the most confident. She looked tired and like she's up all night with a child in every scene that we see her in. No shade. Like, it just seems like she probably has a lot going on, which we can give grace on. And then her friend knew about all of that. I always go back to Kay and still had her come on this show and kind of boxed her into where she could not show her full personality. But even if she did, I don't think Angel is meant for reality TV. I think she's meant behind the camera.
I agree with that, but at the same time, it's not like Kay put a gun to her head and told her she better get on this show and sign that contract. So, as much as I agree with that, I don't really want to put this entirely okay because Angel probably thought she could handle this. Because, like Channy,
I'm not putting it entirely on Kay. I'm just saying I always come back to Kay. No one said it's being put on Kay entirely, but I always come back to Kay because if you know that your friend has all of these things, is not at her best, and you know how this group of women are, and you bring her into this, you don't box her in and do what you did. So that's the part. But
I'm keeping Channy's comment up here because that's what I think. I think I get where you're going with this. I think this is what Kay probably thought.
Angel's probably mean and messy in the aspect that she'll gossip. But I don't think she's mean and messy to where she's going to start the gossip, if that makes sense. Like, she gives me no shade. Low key, Angel gives me follower.
She does, which is why I kind of feel like maybe that's why Kay probably thought that part of her would have shown up on TV. And it did to some degree.
Who someone is if they're agreeing with everything that you say when you're out and talking mess with you. You probably thinking they move like you, but she just doesn't. But she's definitely messy because no rumor about $35,000 and trapping a man. We've seen women with nothing get with men in the NBA and randomly end up pregnant. And then you don't hear rumors about them like you've heard about Angel. So where there's smoke, there's fire. Ain't nobody just messing with you to mess with you, boo. So, hopefully she'll figure it out. She gives quiet messy. It's like she's not
Yeah, she
confrontational,
did.
but she's doing slick shit on the under, like Phaedra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When she said on one episode, she said, "Oh, I thought Jazzy told the ladies what the conversation was about. Jazzy didn't say anything to anyone about you crazy." Yeah, she didn't. That's why. That's why I'm
She
glad I didn't
knew
watch
that.
Arkansas.
She knew that. But when you're guilty and something you really did gets outed, you panic and respond that way instead of paying attention to the obvious. Like Angel just exposed herself on how she reacted to me, but she could go. I don't even care for the reunion. I don't even give a fuck what Angel has to say. I don't give a fuck what Ashley has to say. I don't give a fuck what Giselle has to say. I don't give a fuck what Kiana has to say. The only words I want to hear at the reunion are going to come from Wendy, because girl, what's going on? And Stacy, because she got picked on, but it's very clear that she knows it and has just chosen not to engage. And Tia, because she's done so well. But the rest of this cast can fucking go.
Nadia said her first season was rough. I don't know if she should come back and hopefully redeem herself or ship her off. I think she will come back. This is my opinion. I think she will come back, and I think she will redeem herself, and I think her and Kay are going to fall out. I think that that's what's going to happen. And I think she'll probably, depending on which way Wendy's situation goes, because I don't see Bravo letting go of Wendy just yet. But I do think that if she does come back, that's the circle she's going to align with is Stacey and Wendy. Watch what I tell you. Because I feel like she is going to come back. And her and Kay are going to fall out. I do. Yeah, that's what WAGs is, if anybody doesn't know. Shani said, Twin, I think it may have bothered her a lot more because remember Bobby said the first episode she wasn't rocking with him until he found that she was
yes. She's
yes.
a gold digger. I said it from the jump. And just because you have success doesn't mean you can't want somebody to make it to where you don't got to work your ass off for your success.
Right.
And all she mentions about her husband when she talks about the love for him, she doesn't talk about how good of a dad he is. She doesn't talk about how good of a husband he is. She talks about his money.
Talk about him being a football player. Yeah.
She never talks about any characteristics of that man. And when she calls him, like if you peep when she was calling her husband in the side during the episode, she's like, I love you. He didn't seem to even give a fuck that she was upset. So I feel like there's a lot in Angel's relationship that could give her a storyline and could make her a good housewife. She has to get the fuck away from Kay. And Kay don't even got a man, can't keep a man. Social workers are the most empathetic people in the world, and that man won't put up with her. So get rid of Kay, keep Angel, and she may have a shot. Maybe.
Yeah, because I would love to see. Because I would love to see what she brings. Naya.
Because her hair be looking toe up.
It do.
Like you just know she leave her wigs just on the bathroom sink or something, and the
On
kids
the
and dogs probably be getting to the shit. It just be toe up.
Mm-hmm. She do. Like, yeah. Now that y'all put that out, like put that in perspective, because she was way too mad about that $35,000 situation. Especially now after the fact that you done married the fucking man that they're letting you took it from. So it's like, what the hell is you even mad at? So yes, that seemed like that was a cover up, so that people wouldn't have that perspective of her. Yeah,
she don't even talk about her husband's look. Like we've also seen, James has talked about this a lot on his lives. Like some people make the same mistake in dating by just dating based on aesthetics and how people look.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't even brought up her husband being fine, her like nothing. Just his money.
Yeah.
Just his money.
Yeah. And there was another thing she was talking, and I think it could be the editing that's doing this. I don't know, y'all, but she was talking about, remember the house they were trying to buy? She was all like, well, what's the budget? And she said, I want it to be like $7 million. He said, God damn.
It's the money. She's enjoying the life that she's getting from him. But honestly, maybe that's her karma. Maybe that's why she's on TV and nobody fucking with her like that. But even so, I'm not going to throw a fit over $35,000 when me and my nigga looking at $7 million homes. So that's why.
Well, first of all, I'm not going to care if a rumor like that exists and I've already lived through the shit already, dispelling it. And then I end up marrying the man who y'all are saying I took it from. And then talking about I was trying to get pregnant on purpose and shit. And I ended up marrying him. I'm not going to get mad over so I married the fucking man. What am I getting mad about? That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, that shit has to be true. Because why are you getting mad over that? Like, why would you get mad if you married the fucking man and then had babies by him anyway? Like that doesn't even matter anymore. Like the fuck? Yeah, so that's why I said it's something about her. I just can't really get with y'all. I'm trying. Like, I'm trying not to be so critical and so mean, like saying mean things, but it's like I only can recap what the show gives me. And so far, that's what the show was
We're
giving.
not attacking Angel though. Like I've seen people online attacking her looks, which actually absolutely disgusts me. She's a new mom. Let's not come for her body. We want her to wear a bra though, but let's not come for her body, her looks. Her weave is toe up though. We got to speak on that. But that's us looking out for you, sister to sister girl. But we're not attacking her. We're just calling out. She's been hypersensitive. She's
Mm-hmm.
been wishy-washy with her feelings. She's been wishy-washy with her behavior and personality, depending on who's around and the climate. And I think something that they said talking about Angel, the other girls, was true. They don't know what to say or what not to say around her because she gets so uncomfortable, or you'll think she's okay and then find out the next day or a couple hours later that she's not okay. Don't nobody want to deal with somebody who's up and down like that. That's too much.
Angel needs to move on, enjoy getting her back crack, and dig up all Bobby's money.
That's
Is
why
she
I
getting?
love Kevin
Is,
Riddle. He don't
is
have,
she getting? Is she getting her back cracked?
I don't think so because
Because the way she acted, you would never think. The only thing that makes me feel like she is that she got the babies. That's the only thing that makes me feel like she is getting her back cracked. And hell, all that takes is one time. Is she getting her back cracked? Because to me, she don't give, and it could be postpartum too. Like she really could be going through that. But at the same time, this show was not the show you need to get on. You should have waited until the babies got a little bit older, and then if this show was still on air, then audition. But this was a flop. It just really was. And I feel bad for her because at the end of the day, we are learning more than what we need to learn about her, considering that Ashley and Giselle ain't giving us shit. We really can't talk about Wendy's situation because it hasn't happened yet on the show. So it's like, damn, she is kind of, getting stuck. And then Stacey is just killing them softly by just, either denying shit or it's not even that she's denying it, it's notable deniability. You have to prove it's wrong.
Stacey, you could tell Stacey's not stupid. Stacey
Mm-hmm.
came on this show with the intention to interact and have fun shade with the ladies, but not to show us too deep into her actual personal life, which is brilliant. Which is brilliant. That's how it should be. We should know about your life, know who your kid is, but we're supposed to see you interacting with the other housewives, not just you and that. So she's doing it well. Because Giselle and them don't know how to do that without picking on people.
That's what I'm saying. Like the only person who realistically is given their actual lives and storyline is Angel by default because she puts her foot in her own mouth, and then Stacey because the girls keep finding and digging up shit on her just to try to prove she's lying, and it's like, and that gets old too because don't nobody give a fuck at the end of the day. I don't care that Stacey is messing with Chris Samuels. Like y'all, I don't care about that. Oh well, like it is what it is. She's beautiful. He's single. What y'all want him to do? She don't know Monique, so I don't. And even if she did, really, y'all, I'm sorry. If they were not friends, and if she knew of her, I still wouldn't be mad. I'm sorry, I wouldn't be. The only way I would be mad is if they were best friends and they were good girlfriends coming up with each other. So yeah, I'm just like, yeah. But this was a crazy episode, y'all. It was funny to me at certain points. I went from reading Jazzy for Phil to actually agreeing with her at the end of this episode. You see how these ladies do? They need a new cast. We need new ladies. We need to get rid of Giselle and we need to get rid of Forehead over there in the corner. And then I want to keep Stacey. I want to keep Tia. I don't know if I don't want. I don't know if I really want Wendy to come back. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about y'all. I told you I'm not gonna talk about it. Until they talk about it on the show, I'm not gonna talk about it. If she fucked Chris or sucked him off or fingered her, who cares? She was not married at the time. He was not married at the time. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I love Tia as well. I love Tia as well, which is why I was ready to read Jazzy for Phil when she did what she did because that was stupid. Like, don't nobody give a fuck about that. Your wedding and all this bullshit. She was joking. But yeah, that was pretty much it, y'all. That was the episode. It was pretty good. Thank you guys for being here once again. This was a great live. I appreciate everyone's participation in this. Thank you guys so much. I got a lot of homework to do, so I am going to go ahead and get to it. like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Please like the video, you guys. Everybody like the video. Please get me that algorithm going for myself. Tell a friend to come back and enjoy us. We will be back on my show on Wednesday for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I will see you guys there. And thank you guys so much. Have a good one, y'all. Bye-bye.